It's our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the London Black Knights. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Returning it, Carlos Henderson. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by Big Ben, their veteran quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
And there are the numbers for C.J. Anderson on the ground last week. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. They give it to Anderson. And this defense not giving him anything there.Maybe a yard up to the 36. So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dive.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a... They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is fielded inside the 5. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. The numbers on the ground for Logan a week ago. 12 carries, 91 yards.
And when you put the ball in the end zone 13 times on the season, one thing is apparent. You didn't do it all on your own. Offensive line is creating some nice space for you, and you're probably getting some good blocks downfield from your wide receivers.
And going deep for Hill. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Leopard, hurry up, here we go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And he comes back with one complete. A gain of 11 and a 1st down.
It appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket, that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Mahomes will try again on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. Third down here.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
On first down, Mahomes letting one go deep. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Carlos Henderson, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. But not to get too overcritical there, because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, fun on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Hurry up, here we go.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. To the right side, it's Kelsey. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
On second down, here's Mahomes. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. And it's 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On 3rd down, it's Logan. He finds some open field here. The 20. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Hurry up, here we go.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And his guys have taken a first quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game.
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And this is their third drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Chris Jones in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done. I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 20. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Ball nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the first half.
The offense on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Set. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
All right, here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Throwing now is Mahomes. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks. Those guys are worth their weight in gold. That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
On 3rd down. That's Logan, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Shoves him aside. So the Broncos coming out now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd down, Anderson. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way down to the 37. It's a big play there on 3rd down. And even 40 yards. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more after this. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. Now Roethlisberger. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And McManus able to put it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Well, at least they won't take a goose egg into intermission as they do carve out 3 points here in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
Yeah, it hasn't really been the greatest of first halves. They've looked out of sync, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But a field goal here at least gives them some momentum as we tick down toward halftime.
They go play action here on first down. Trying to lay one up deep. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. A second quarter score from down in Houston. And the early going, it's the Texans out in front. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now we look at C.J. Anderson as he trots back out there and gets set to go on offense. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Third down now. It's C.J. Anderson. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Brad Nortman now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So a change of possession here on the punt. And here now the offense heading back out there. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Through an opening, and there he goes. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Tyreek Hill as the first half is winding down. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. A second quarter score from down in Houston. And the Texans, they have scored again and moved in front by a couple of touchdowns. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Rosas to add the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll They'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. They start the drive with Anderson. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one, as we will send you back stateside. Sorry, Larry, your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. This offense so far on 3rd down, no problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it here with Logan. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there when you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows the offensive line's going to give him great effort, and he gives great effort himself to finish off runs. Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Touchdown! That big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And this offense continues to pour it on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from the wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Rosas now to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
They run again on first down. Anderson loses the football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play. And I think he's a guy, if they had let him walk, no one was going to be shouting from the top of a mountain, but he's a good guy. He's a good locker room guy, too.
Good locker room and a good player. I mean, he's a valuable starter for them, and if you just want to start over and maybe bring in someone new, the learning curve might be a little bit big. So it's a good job by getting him taken care of, and now they can move forward.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. The quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a third down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The Stork, Hall of Famer Ted Hendricks, not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. The Broncos on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
And McManus able to put it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, I guess we're at the stage here where they wouldn't say no to any points, but I don't think field goals are what they're looking for here in the second half.
I don't either, Brandon. When you're down as much as they are, that's the sign of a head coach waving the white flag to me.
And he'll be knocked down sideways. Looks to be right around the 40.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So 2nd and 10 here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up... Welcome back now here in London. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Looking long for Thomas. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he will score. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Rosas to add the extra point. Just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. Back to the air, Roethlisberger after the pick 6. A dump off to Anderson. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
He goes underneath for Anderson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's 30 yards now in the last two plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Now Roethlisberger, and this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
First down, here's the run with Anderson. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
So he got free at one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
And this one won't bounce their way. It's covered up by the hands team. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. I got 11. Watch it now, Barney.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And now here's a carry heading left. And this one also slow and developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. In the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get hooked and let a running back get outside, because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia. Play clock winding down. And that'll set them back 5. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been excellent. 6 for 7. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Looking to throw. Boyle, incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Time for a break. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Just 2 yards to go here on 2nd down for the offense. Shift together here from the D-line. Now it's Roethlisberger. And his throw here's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. Well, too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Roethlisberger. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Brad Nortman now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he's on here to punt it away. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field.